Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and I think you guys are really doing well. So today you would expect from that video the most recent ask questions for Viva Vault. So I'll bring 10 questions for today, and I think whoever not watch my last set of questions, please feel free to watch that recording because there are also 13 question has been described. Please feel free to watch that question and answer too. And today I also prepare 10 questions for you, and the answer you would expect from me, let's say after a couple of day, I'll share that answer too. But for now, let's get started with 10 questions. So first question is define job instance. So what is job? What is job status? How job can be configured? And what is job instance that can be asked by the interviewer. So prepare with all that scenarios. What is job? What is job instance? How job define? What is job status? So basically a job is a certain scenario happen with object record and document record. Automatic transition, let's say expected document can be loaded in a particular date, and that is defined in previous in the system by the system administrator. So that way, in that you will give the trigger date, that date the job will run, and the particular task will be uh, done. So that way, that is the job. That is the one. That is one of the you know uh, functions of job instance. And now the next question is how can bulk action be performed through API? So you are aware of perform bulk action through Viva Vault UI, right? But you are not sure how that can be performed through API. So let's say a request come, let's say add, you need to add multiple user for a particular role. Let's say IT support, this is a role called, and you need to add a couple of bunch of users in a particular role. That also can be done through perform bulk action. Or let's say you want to initiate a multiple workflow, that also can be done through perform bulk action. So again, but the thing is you need to understand how through API that can be done. So try to find out that questions, and I'll share for you in next session. I'll definitely share the answers with you. Now, excuse me. So next question is what steps are involved in creating a Vault login message? Let's say when you or any users open the Viva Vault, then they will get a message, login message, right? So how that can be created from the configuration side, and also do not see the same message again. That also are functions that also can be enabled for the users through by the system administrator. That also you can try to find out. The next question is, can you explain the operation of validation rule and their significance? So validation rule is very common aspect for every system. So how how validation rule can be defined, and when you would expect system give you the error. So that kind of scenario, how you can create in Viva World, that also you need to try to find out. And now, the next question is what will be the state of a document if a copy is made from an approved document? Let's say a document which is in approved state, and the request is coming, you need to copy that approved document, uh, copy the approved document. So what would be the version of that document, and how you can copy that approved document? That is a very simple questions. So you need to make a copy from that approved document. I am just telling you the answers here even. And you need to also you need to check that version of that document, right? And explain the function of default and override role-based permission. So this question is telling you that let's say default permission you have currently for a particular users, but requirement is coming, let's say certain users, right? Archive user or some users, they have that extra privilege. They can start some user action in a particular state which is not defined. So through the atomic security, how the role-based permission can be given for a particular object record or lifecycle state. Let's say a certain state called make the document to obsolete. Let's say for some user that option is disabled, and but we want to but requirement is we need to give that permission to a certain role, so from where that permission should be given. So that is the question, so you need to find out the answers. So now the next question is, how can document be set to an obsolete state? So we know, right? Or let's say approved document, right? Some certain scenario came, you need to delete that approved document. So approved approved document deletion, that is not a right process, and based on the business, because we should not delete any approved document. That, so that time a shop deletion come into the picture and obsolete state come into the picture. Let's say that state only can be seen by the system admin or higher access role. That system is not seen by any other viewer or any other role. So how that state can be defined? That is a one good question. And also the next question is, describe the process of object workflow and lifecycle management. So workflow is let's say lifecycle. So I'm just giving you the glimpse of that. So workflow is certain set of instruction that will follow during the lifecycle transition state. So let's say your document currently in draft state. So when in draft state, then the next state should be a reviewed or something. Then the draft state document when transition, or let's say starting a workflow in draft state, and then certain set of users are author state or reviewer state, they are verifying the document is updated in correct manner or not, or document need to be reviewed by reviewer. So that time the set of instruction is provided to the system through the workflow instruction, and the participant should be called workflow participant. They, how they are deal with that document, and how they are transition the document from draft to reviewed. So that is a concept of workflow, but the state of that document is the life cycle state. So that is the two difference of workflow and life cycle management. In my next video, I'll definitely share more details of that workflow and life cycle management. And now the next question is, can you explain the functionality of Viva Vault API? So most of that uh, persons, they are aware of that, right? What is how Viva Vault is work and all these things, right? But they have that limited knowledge on Vault API and something. So that also I'll share some reference and guidance so that you will understand how Vault API will work, and what is difference between outbound package and inbound package. So let's say certain changes and modification you have prepared for in the development sandbox, and you want to move the development sandbox to, you want to move that changes to that migration sandbox, right, from development sandbox. So when the changes you have set up in development sandbox, so that is called the outbound package. So you need to extract that outbound package, and you need to inbound in your next set of sandbox, means target sandbox. So please search what is the difference between outbound and inbound package, and I'll also provide the answers in my next video. So that's it from today's video, because I told already that 10 questions I prepare for today's, but these questions is very relevant to your Viva Vault interview, and interviewer mostly ask this question, and that I taken mostly recent asked questions from the many. I heard from many colleagues, many freshers who are not freshers, who are experienced. I heard from many of them that questions are very relevant. They are mostly asked this kind of questions in Viva, right? So that's it for today's session. So see you in my next video. Bye for now.